Support WrestleTalk!
It is AEW Double or Nothing round 2, I think. Predictions time. I'm El Faker Laurie Blake. I'm joined by Luke Owen and Ollie Cassidy, who is here to predict for his favourite programme in the world. If you want to join us on predictions, you just need to become a Pledgehammer on Patreon, and you can join the Wrestle League, the predictions competition that we have going, where you get to put in your predictions all the way up until SummerSlam, I think it is, and see who comes out on top. So let's kick off with, I think, one of the more difficult matches to predict, the Casino Ladder match, which is for a world title shot. It includes Darby Allin, Colt Cabana, Orange Cassidy, Rey Fenix, Scorpio Sky, Kip Sabian, Frankie Kazarian, Luchasaurus, and a mystery opponent. Now, Luke, I think you have feelings as to who this mystery opponent might be.
It's the master of the PowerPoint presentation. It's Captain Submission, Drew Gulak. He's gone from WWE now, and it's not a case that he's got a 90-day non-compete clause. He can literally just walk into the door of AEW. There was actually remarkably no teasers of it on the last episode of Dynamite, the Go Home show. They haven't really been like, oh guys, there's a mystery opponent in this. It's just really been a social media thing. If you're keeping it that secret, it can't just be, as much as I love him, it can't just be Jimmy Havoc. You know what I mean? It's got to be a name at this point. So if it's not Sting, then I think it's going to be Drew Gulak.
So the way that Drew Gulak's contract seemed to expire, that did really seem to be a last-minute thing. Apparently, he's still kind of negotiating through his agent Barry Bloom to go back to WWE. So if he is intending to do that, I don't think he would have also been negotiating to return to to debut in AEW to the extent where he'd win the whole match. I think Darby Allin's the guy here. I think Darby Allin's going to win, and maybe Taz will attack him to set up the first program or whatever. Not Taz, but Taz's client or whatever. So maybe the vacant person will be Taz's client. Oh my god, it should be Drew McIntyre. Drew Gulak. All the submissions. I got carried away with myself there.
I'm going for the mystery opponent because it's gambling themed, and that's me. I'm just taking a gamble. Because also, I don't know. Thing is, look, I'm really here to sort out the AEW bias. the obvious AEW bias within WrestleTalk. So, to counteract you two's obvious bias towards that brand, I haven't watched any AEW. And so I'm just here to provide the other voice to counter yours, where you just think it's all brilliant. I think double or nothing, double or rubbish, mate.
What's annoying is that you're still probably going to beat us in predictions.
Just want to point out, A, I'm top of the league currently. Also, B, I was the rightful winner of the last season. So you want to be looking towards this guy and his predictions. Laurie's winning, though.
What's next on this snooze fest? Private Party versus Best Friends.
So this is a pre-show match. It's nice to see Private Party back, but this is definitely going to be the Best Friends winning. They're already highly ranked in the tag division, and Trent has been getting an insane push. Plus, with Orange Cassidy, they're part of one of the hottest factions in AEW.
Orange detected, orange detected, orange detected.
I am also, going for Best Friends.
100% Best Friends.
Speeding through. See, this is the kind of egress you need when things are so boring. Dr. Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander. This might not be happening, I guess, because it seems like Britt got injured on Dynamite this week.
I'm going with DMD, Dr. Britt Baker. I think she's been getting a good push in AEW. She was there for the 6 to 8 weeks worth of tapings they did at QT Marshall's place. I think that she's got a program ready-made for her with Hikaru Tschida after the nose break spot that they did on Dynamite. So yeah, I'm going with Baker on this one.
I would also choose Britt Baker, but because I think she's one of the best characters in the whole company.
Orange detected, orange detected.
What an amazing job she's done since turning heel. And what a 180 that is from how the company saw her incorrectly as the babyface. She's a dentist and she wrestles. This is a media dream. But no, we're wrestling fans. We're like, all right, love. Fully yourself. So I would choose Britt Baker. Unfortunately, we're recording this when no announcement or update's been given on her, but it didn't look good on Dynamite.
If the match happens, I would go for Britt Baker, because I feel like if you were considering putting the belt on Tschida, then Baker's a really good next challenger for that match. And also, I think you want to position her ready to take on whoever the next women's champion is. Let's do MJF versus Jungle Boy next.
This is a tough one. They had a brief tangle earlier this year in a match that really caught me by surprise, because we all love Jungle Boy, we all love MJF. They're two really hot young stars, and like sort of the best of their respective moralities. Jungle Boy is the ultimate babyface. Look at that face. And MJF is the ultimate heel. He's like this Renaissance heel man. But we hadn't really seen them do much in the ring together. And then they had this really good match for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever it was, on Dynamite. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think they'll really go out of their way to do something good. And I think Jungle Boy is going to get the win. It's not for anything, and then that can really grate at MJF. Like, MJF can keep beating people bigger than him, but maybe always loses to Jungle Boy, because that is a feud you can lean into in 2-3 years' time.
I'm going the opposite way. I'm going with MJF on this one. I think you want to build off the big Cody win at Revolution, give him a little win here to kind of like just almost like it's almost like a plate spinning thing. I feel this match is to then build him into a bigger feud off the back of it. I'm going with my boy Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who does not like me.
I'm also gone for MJF just because I like the combination of letters.
MJF.
We also have a Stadium Stampede match between Matt Hardy and the Elite versus the Inner Circle, which sounds like some serious horse to me, but yeah, fine. I'm going to go for Matt Hardy and the Elite because Matt is magic, and therefore magic beats Spanish Gods and Chris Jericho.
Well, this has been a really fun feud with that really, really good precursor match to the Stampede Stadium stipulation with the street fight that went around Dynamite a couple of weeks ago. And this has been a good feud. It was originally meant to be blood and guts, of course. Don't call it War Games, and they're doing a sort of socially distanced version of that match where you're not confined to a really close parameters with each other. You can go anywhere in the whole of this Jacksonville stadium. But man, this feud, I was enjoying it, but I didn't realize how much it was missing Hangman Page until the Go Home show. One 2-minute long cameo at the end of the show, he brought back all that drama, intrigue, the tension in the Elite plus Matt Hardy faction. I loved it, and I think that's going to play into them losing, and the Elite are going to win. Oh, no, sorry. The Inner Circle are going to win.
Okay, yeah. Right, okay. That makes more sense. I was going to say, because I'm also going with Inner Circle. I think there's going to be those problems between Matt Jackson and Hangman Page that we have seen bubbling under the surface. You know, he hasn't been with Kenny Omega for months now. So I think there's going to be something along those lines. God, I've missed Hangman Page. I think this is going to be so much fun.
Cody versus Lance Archer, this for the TNT Championship with Iron Mike Tyson to present the title.
Iron Mike, what's he ever done, eh?
Iron Mike, what's he ever done, eh?
This one I think is the hardest one to call, because the promo work that Arn Anderson and Jake Roberts did on the Go Home episode really established that it could go either way, because Lance Archer is a dominating monster heel. And so you kind of think like, well, there's no way that Cody can beat him, and you also want to keep that Lance mystique. Also, the Jake Roberts thing is amazing. And then Arn cut this promo about Cody needing to win this, and I was like, man, maybe Cody is going to win this. But I'm gonna go with the Murder Hawk. I'm gonna go with Lance Archer as the. I think he's gonna win the title here, and then got the number one contendership battle royal next week for like a Darby Allin to win that. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Lance Archer here.
It's a razor's edge, isn't it, with Cody? Because you don't know how many more losses can he take on the big stage before they completely ruin their best babyface. And I'm leaning towards Archer here because I think this might be just one more that he can take, and then they'll build to him winning the TNT Championship at a later date. But yeah, I think it's a very tough decision. I also think because then if Archer wins and gets presented the title, you can have Mike Tyson deck him, which is, I think, what this entire thing is about.
I've got a bit of a bold prediction here. Cody's going to win. I think he does need this title. But as does Lance Archer, though. That's the problem. This is his sort of debut run, and he has murdered everyone. He's been booked so strongly, but you can't then just pull the rug out from underneath him at the end of it, as we saw with Ryback when he first started his rise to the main event scene in WWE. You never quite recover from that, unless you have a killer angle to follow on from it. And I'm not talking about Brad Maddox. So what I hope actually, is Cody wins. He gets that TNT title tournament title belt. Mike Tyson can present it to him. That should mean so much to him. There's so many connections with the Rhodes family there, WCW, and maybe that's the way down the line the TNT champion can compete against the world champion, which is something Cody can't do after he lost the match to Jericho. Now, how do you make Lance Archer lose? You bring in Sting.
Oh, okay.
That's who he's been interacting with on Twitter, interestingly. Sting has said, I've been watching Lance Archer. Great to see Jake the Snake Roberts back on TV again. He tweeted about Jake and Sting back in the day working together. I think this is how you bring Sting in. And then you're not so much going, Lance lost that match. You're going, holy crap. Lance just entered a feud with Sting. Meaning via proxy, we've got Jake versus Sting, and also Tyson's there.
It's like jangling your keys at someone and just going, look, and all this stuff's happening in the background.
Yeah. But can Sting wrestle now? Didn't he have that career-ending injury?
He has said multiple times over the last couple of years that he can come back. He would come back for a match against The Undertaker. And in February, PW Insider, no less, reported that he was in negotiations to come back for a Saudi Arabia match in WWE. Thing I would say not to do this is that is an angle you save for a crowd. But these are unprecedented times, and maybe you should just press ahead regardless.
Hey, I will say it is better than doing Saudi. Yeah. So next, Shawn Spears demanded a match on the card and has challenged Dustin Rhodes.
I think Shawn should win this though. And I wouldn't mind a Rhodes I'm past it storyline, maybe to build to a match against Cody for the TNT title.
Shawn Spears with the sharpshooter.
I also think Spears. I think Dustin's the right man to put him over here. Next up, it's Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Tschida for the AEW Women's Championship in a no disqualifications match, which you've got to think benefits someone like Rose.
Well, maybe, or it's Tschida, whose whole thing is the kendo stick. I love Tschida. She's like, I want her to win. It's very rare that my mind goes against what should happen, which is Rose should keep the belt. She hasn't had it long enough. She needs to establish herself more. But I like Tschida so much that I'm going to say her. I just want her to win.
This is why you keep ending up at the bottom of the league, Ollie. Your wins and your prayers.
And Sting will help her.
I think Sting's going to help everyone. He's going to be coming up and down from the rafters all night like a fucking puppet.
I really want Tschida to win as well, but I'm going to go with Nyla Rose on this one. I'm going with head over heart.
Did Nyla Rose go through a table on Dynamite this week?
She did, yeah.
Yeah, she did. So I feel like that is setting her up for payback, and Nyla Rose will retain here. That's my feelings. I'm basing it all off one thing that I've read. So, and the finale, the incredibly derivative, the Shield versus the Wyatts. It's Jon Moxley versus Brodie Lee for the AEW World Championship.
I think that Brodie Lee is going to take the losses. So Moxley's going to win, and I think it's going to be from It's going to be from Creeper sort of backfiring. I think some of his minions are going to try and get involved. That's going to go nipples north, and that's going to lead to Moxley getting the victory. And then I think they're going to do a storyline where Brodie Lee fires some of the minions.
Yeah, I think exactly the same. I feel like Luke stole that from me because that's what I've been saying for the last few weeks on my reviews. They're booked into a corner because this is Brodie Lee's first proper feud, and it's Jon Moxley's first proper title defense on pay-per-view. You don't want either guy to lose, and not in the same way with Cody and Archer where you can have a killer angle coming off the back of it. I foresee Brodie Lee losing. And because of Sting. He should see him coming by now. He's done it in all 8 other matches.
I've also gone for Moxley here. I again think it's too early. I think they're going to try to sort out a finish that protects both men, and it's likely to be goons and gimps in masks. The final question, our bonus question, is there gonna be a debut? And yes, the answer is yes, it's gonna be Sting 7 damn times.
Yes, it's Sting.
Do you get 7 points for every time he debuts?
Sometimes he's a statue, sometimes like...
It's gonna come dressed up as different versions of him from the career. We're gonna get Surfer Sting, we're gonna get Crow Sting, we're gonna get Joker Sting.
Yeah, so I mean, is the question just, is there gonna be a debut?
Well, I thought it was more specifically an ex-WWE guy that has been recently released to debut. And even then, I'm still saying yes, because I think it's going to be Drew Gulak in the ladder match.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a vague question. I'm going to go with yes, because it's either it's Sting or it's Drew or it's anyone. It could be the Revolt. It could be anyone. Well, there you have it. Those are our predictions for AEW Double or Nothing. Let us know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen on the show. Ollie has just become Ollie Cassidy once again. Give us a thumbs up. More heartedly than Ollie's doing his half-hearted one in the comments down below if you liked the video as well, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to stay up to date on all the awesome WrestleTalk stuff. I've been Laurie, joined by Ollie Cassidy, Luke Owen, and that was AEW Predictions.